You may not know this, but aloha doesn't just mean hello and goodbye. It also means peace, love, and compassion. So it's a really beautiful word. And we could use a lot of that in today's times and in today's tight quarters. Navigating relationships in tight quarters can be a big challenge. And I want you to understand that even the strongest relationships can struggle in tight quarters. Best friends often don't make good roommates because of this exact dynamic. So there's some group dynamics at play that might be helpful to understand. The work of Dr. Bruce Tuckman years ago in 1965, he proposed these 4 stages of group dynamics. And the stages are forming, storming, norming, and performing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk a little bit about those stages and then some of the things that we can do to navigate those stages. And if we understand those stages, we can do a better job of navigating this, making it a little bit calmer, and growing some awareness and skills for other group interactions down the road. The first stage is forming. Forming is kind of like when we first started this process, and you might have been thinking, hey, I'll get a little bit more time off. I'll get a little bit more family time, catch up on my sleep, or binge watch a Netflix show that I'm excited about. The storming stage is we're starting to be like, hey, we've been doing this for a while. It's a little bit scary. It's a little bit more restrictive than I wanted, and we're starting to bump into each other in sharing space and sharing resources. Storming is a natural part of this group dynamic. But on the other side of storming is norming. And norming is when we start to find patterns that work for us. And we start to build some agreements. And one of the things we're going to do in the 3rd video of this series is we're going to talk about building a family social contract. And we really want you to involve other family members in watching that video because it could be really useful for everybody. Last but not least is the last stage, which is performing. Performing is when now we have a synergy as a group, where the group together is greater than the sum of its parts, as the system starts to support and build off of each other, so that when one person feels a little bit struggled, someone else is able to pick up the slack and help them out. This can be very effective. And part of that performing stage is also being able to solve problems and being able to build routines where it creates these systems and patterns that work effectively for your family. So that's the 4 stages, and we're going to be going through those stages of dynamics in these videos. But before I send you the worksheets, I need to talk one more topic, and that is I want to talk again about the traffic lights. But this time, instead of using the traffic lights for managing stress, we're going to talk about using the traffic lights for managing irritation. And it's the same concept. Green is calm, and yellow is caution, and red is full blown. And so what I want to do is I want to, just like in the stress response, I want to recognize when I'm in yellow and use a lot of those same strategies are effective here again. I can walk it out, talk it out, write it out, breathe it out, time out, or mindful moment. Those same strategies we talked about before, but I want to use those in yellow so I don't end up in red and blow my top and then make a small thing into a big thing because I lost control of my emotions. So that's the idea. So in a minute, I want you to go to the worksheets, and I want to remind you that the future is bright. And if you will use some of these skills and manage some of that dynamic, you can come through this a little bit calmer with a little bit stronger relationships and stronger relationship skills. And hopefully, I wish you a little bit more aloha, peace, compassion, and goodbye. See you next time.